literally, when I was a kid in junior high, I came into the school and there was a raptor program going on. And it was one of the most exciting days of my life. And this guy pulls out a bald eagle in our gym, and I was so excited. And I remember him saying that this was a federally endangered species. And at that time, I didn't even know what that meant. Later on, he goes to describe what's happening with these eagles and DDT, contamination of eggs. And he said something like, I would probably never see a bald eagle in the wild in my lifetime. And one of the greatest things is that I see bald eagles all the time. I saw a bald eagle on the way here this morning, flying over the Sangamon River. So, whereas a lot of people see one of these birds, they see a magnificent, giant, regal creature, and it is. Some people see the symbol of the United States of America, and it is. This is our national symbol. It is on the seal of several it's on the presidential seal. It's on the seal of several national offices. Native Americans hold this bird in high religious regard. The Lakota Indians believe that they were born from twin golden eagles. But all of that put aside, what I see is a conservation success story. I see a bird that we almost wiped off the face of the planet. I see a bird that we as people decided we're not going to let that happen. I saw laws that were passed to protect this eagle starting in 1973 to the point where we are standing within 10 miles of 3 different eagle nests in this county. One of my pride and joys is that I do an hour-long talk on these birds, and I created a PowerPoint presentation, and 99.9% of the photographs in my PowerPoint presentation taken in this county. I didn't have to go anywhere special. They're here, and they're pretty much all over the place. And our email, I mean, every single day, somebody's emailing us from Macon County going, I have a bald eagle in my yard, because it's just exciting to see it. So this is a bird that has made a spectacular comeback. It's not out of trouble, though. It is still protected. That is the one thing, and it has its own law that protects it. It is a bird that is still facing trouble from environmental contaminants like lead. A big problem right now is plastics in the wild, fishing line. We tend to contaminate their hunting areas. We tend to contaminate their nesting areas with all kinds of stuff. I have yet to be in an eagle nest because that would be illegal unless I have been asked by the federal government to help out with some project. But I wouldn't be surprised that we would find man-made contaminants in the nest like I find man-made contaminants in every single nest that I've ever been in. And I'm talking about plastics, balloons, string, fishing line, hooks. The other problem with these guys is lead. They unfortunately are scavengers. They are magnificent hunting birds. Think about them going over a lake and dipping their legs in frigid cold water like today. That is just amazing. Probably the number one problem we see with eagles coming in this facility, it's not broken bones, though that does happen. It is lead. Lead is a major contributor to the reason why we see eagles in our facility. It's the reason why we have a lead testing machine in the first place. These guys ingest lead either from, it could be a lead sinker that is on the shore next to a dead fish, and they swallow it up. It could be lead shot from that's actually where the proven method of them ingesting is from a lead buckshot or shotgun shot. So you shoot a deer, you field dress the deer in the field, which is a standard practice. But if any part of the lead slug has splintered or broken off and is in that gut pile somewhere, it takes a BB-sized piece of lead to take one of these guys down. And I'm telling you, these guys come in with lead levels that if a human being had that amount of lead in them, you would be in the hospital. And I'm talking like 6 times the amount of that. And so, yeah, we have some problems still with them. They're not out of the woods yet, but they're doing really, really good. And I just can't understand sometimes where we had an environmental problem, we fixed that problem, we have a new environmental problem for these guys, and it's one of the hardest ones to fix. And so there's a lot of people and there's a lot of research that you can do if you want to know more about that. There's a ton of papers, a ton of articles written on these guys ingesting lead and how we could stop that. This is a female bald eagle. So We know it's a female mainly because of her size. There's something really unique in raptors, something we call dimorphism, which means scientifically that basically means there's a difference between the male and the female. And this bird, it's not color like you would see in ducks or some songbirds. And this bird, it's size. We know this is a female because of the size of this bird. A female bald eagle is much, much larger than a male. Laura here weighs roughly around 16 some pounds. Her wingspan's about 8 feet long. A male would be roughly around 7.5 pounds with about a 7-foot wingspan. So they are much, much larger. God dang, she looks awesome, doesn't she? They're much larger than the females. This is a 4-year-old eagle. You notice that she doesn't have a white head or the white tail. She has what I call the dirty white head and the dirty white tail, and this is indicative of her age of being 4. So bald eagles don't get the white head or white tail till they're 5. When they're 1, 2, 3, and 4, they're all different colors at those stages, and this is a really good example of a 4-year-old bald eagle. You'll notice that she has a black beak. They actually have a yellow beak as adults, and they have yellow eyes. So that will also change. But you can see it's gradually starting to change, and their eye color will change too. If you're good, if you can actually just look in the books and study this. If you're good and you come across an immature eagle, you can actually kind of gauge how old it is, because the 1-year-olds, 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds all look different. But when they turn 5, they all look the same. See ya.